Hey everybody, my name is Charlie, and welcome to a really quick preview of a game called Farlanders. This is on Kickstarter, and you can get a whole bunch of information in the description. Check that out if you're interested after seeing this video. Farlanders is also on Steam, it's coming later this year, and we're gonna check out the prologue today. This is a little bit different than some of the games that I've played on this channel in the past in the way the art style is, but it's a turn-based game, and it's taking Mars and the colonization of Mars in a different direction and kind of looking at it in a little different way. So I wanted to go ahead and just show it to you because I think it's a little charming little game. So let's go ahead and hit start new, and there's different chapters and stuff. There's currently 4 available, and if you guys like this, please let me know down in the comments there, and we can check out all 4 chapters if you want to. But we're gonna start chapter 1 for this video, and we'll just see how it goes. So it says start small, think big. The year is 2046. Over 10 years have passed since the first manned mission to Mars. It was accomplished thanks to the combined efforts of the national space agencies and private companies. We've reached our first colony on the red planet, the Mars Hub. But we're still a long way from having a self-sufficient settlement on Mars. The process should be sped up by private companies and investments. GuardArt is going to create the very first private colony on Mars. And I just want to say really quickly, once you see it, you can't unsee it, okay? But this logo, as it works, and it's like a leaf, right? And there's like twigs and like, you know, like green on Mars, right? Red planet. But look at the way they've made it, okay? Like a head and alien eyes, right? Come on. Now that you've seen it, you can't unsee it. I don't know if that was intentional, but like I immediately got extraterrestrial head out of this, the way it's made. Okay, our years of experience in agricultural technology have allowed us to develop a next generation solution for the colony. Forget the bare Mars Hub environment you've seen before. In our colonies, you'll be able to go for a stroll and breathe the fresh air at a real park. In addition, we've developed technology that will allow us to terraform the red planet into an Earth-like environment. And that's not all. We've got more news for you. Hi, I'm Nicole, and I manage the Mars program at GuardArt. Before we fly to Mars, we plan to launch a few test colonies on Earth. Our goal is to make sure our residential modules are ready for the harsh Martian environment and assemble a team for our first real settlement. And by the way, you can help us with that last part. We're going to live stream the final phase of the Earth test colony. It'll be a reality show, but with a scientific goal. And you can watch it all just by subscribing. You can do your part right now by making a one-time contribution of just $199.99. We need your support to colonize Mars. I am once again asking for your support to colonize Mars. Okay, so welcome to our little boardroom meeting we've got here. And it says, great work, Philippa. You and the rest of the marketing team really knocked it out of the park. You've got the makings of an actor, Nicole. So we were talking about Nicole. I think we're acting, we act as Nicole in this, but we're also gonna deal with Michele and Philippa. I guess Philip? The E's probably silent. We'll go with Philip. So I can answer any one of these 2 ways. You've really got the makings of an actor, Nicole. Took me hundreds of takes to get a hang of it, or I'm just gonna be confident. Thanks, glad to be of service. By the way, I like the new haircut. Looks great on you. Thank you. Since you need to start prepping for the first test colony right away, I won't keep you. So this is the part where I can either say, very sorry, but I really need to get going, and I just start the gameplay. Or we can play this meeting out more, and obviously I'm gonna do that for you guys, but I've already done it, and it's worth it. Like I wanna get going, and we can really sort of dig into what the overall mission of the game is. So everything's fine, I'm free right now. Well, in that case, let's continue. Does anyone have any comments about the promo? Well, if it was up to me, I wouldn't focus so much on our brand. Filling the screen with our logo seems a little cheap. We all know how people feel about big corporations. I think we should explain about terraforming technology in a greater deal. It's a major scientific breakthrough after all. I also feel the need to reiterate that streaming a scientific experiment all over the world for money is both unethical and extremely risky. Oh, the problem is that a private mission to Mars is a massive undertaking. It's going to require a colossal investment. There's absolutely no way we can pull this off without the money from the live stream. Regardless, this isn't why we're here today. We can discuss the promo some other time. This is just the initial version after all. I agree. I say we come back tomorrow with the rest of the team. I was gonna do accents and I've totally forgotten what each one sounds like now, so forget it. Agreed. In that case, let's discuss the details of our first colony. Do you have any questions, Nicole? So this is, again, a part where you can kind of get yourself familiar with what you're supposed to do in the game, or you can just be like, I'm all set, let's get started if you've done it before. So I'm going to go through these because I like this dialogue sequence. Could you go over my objectives for this phase again? Well, in the short term, your objective is to set up a basic colony for using terraforming and build 5 working greenhouses. In addition to potatoes and other edible crops, we're also going to try growing decorative plants. And then if all goes well, we'll convert the greenhouses a bit and design the parks. What about the stream? When are we going to start that? The stream will begin during the colony's 3rd and final testing phase, once we're sure that the terraforming is functioning properly and the domed parks are capable of sustaining life. I should add that it'll be important to announce the stream as soon as possible, ideally once this mission has been completed successfully. What about the residents? Who are the colonists going to be? Well, for now it'll just be volunteers from our company, but once the live stream starts, we'll start bringing in a broader swath of people. New colonists will be brought in gradually, and your job will be to make sure that the colony grows smoothly and can accommodate everyone. All right, what can I do with terraforming? You can do things like create new sources of water and minerals, flatten mountains that are preventing the colony from expanding, or prepare the soil for growing crops. In other words, you can alter the landscape to meet your needs, but keep in mind that our terraforming sets are limited, so you need to use them wisely. That's important. We're going to come back to that. Could you tell me about the test site selected for the colony? It'll only be a small patch of land at first, but it should be enough to roll out our terraforming technology. Before we begin construction, we need to prepare the selected location by giving it more of a Martian look. As I'm sure you know, it's quite difficult to get ice on the prairie in this kind of weather, but given that the test site is small, it shouldn't be a problem. I'm all set. Let's get started. All right, so once you're on the site, Mikale and the rest of our engineering team will assist you. Good luck. All right, so the goal, right, is to terraform, but mostly it's just like to make this habitable for us, right? And this is kind of a procedurally generated thing. I've went through this sort of twice just to get a really good feel for how it works, and it's been a different map every time. This one, no different. It's a completely different layout, so it's nice that way. I can't just wing it. I can't be like, I know what I'm going to do beforehand, because it changes it all the time. All right, so Mikale says, how's the connection? As you can see, we've made your objective a little simpler and built your starting base on the fly. Next turn, our first batch of colonists will arrive. Before we can receive them, you'll need to build a living space. First, don't forget to install solar panels and connect them to the base. Remember that solar panels need sunlight, so don't build them in the shade of the cliffs. Don't worry though, a misplaced building can always be demolished. All right, so this is the interface we're going to be working with for our first little setup, right? And you've got the backstory for it as well. At the top, we have our food supply as well as our production for food. We have our water supply, and we have our mineral supply. We're going to use minerals to create buildings. So this is going to be something that's given to us every turn from our base. But like we have a limited amount of everything, right? And then we have power, and we need to get to 10 power to have everything on. And so we need to generate that electricity. At the bottom, we have 4 different buttons. We have base structures we can build, energy structures we can build, water structures, and product structures. And I'm sure as the game goes on with more and more scenarios, this list of stuff will expand. But the most important thing about this is that it's turn-based. So there's no timers. You have time to figure out exactly what you want to do before you hit the next turn button, right? And that comes with pros and cons, because you might be planning for something and the game doesn't necessarily give you what you're planning for in the next turn. You'll see what I mean when the terraforming events happen. So these two events are going to happen over here. We have 10 people, 10 colonists are coming in one turn. So basically next turn, 10 people are going to show up. We need to be able to we need to have the land prepared for that. We also have terraforming happening in one turn. Now the terraforming tools, they're kind of randomly generated. It'll give you an option of what you want to do, and you can use one of those options only. You don't get to do whatever you want. You get to do whatever the game allows you to do, and that's where the creativity and in-the-moment thinking comes in. Okay, so that's pretty much the interface. Our checklist says we need to build 3 solar panels to get started, so let's go down to energy, and we want to build these in a place that's not in the shade. So you see I can't build them here because the cliffside is making this a shaded area, but we can build them all down here, and I kind of like that idea. I can also build them over here if I want to. There's a canal going through here, and all this terrain will likely change as we go too. Real quick, I'm going to go to the terraforming handbook just so you can see what I mean. So on terraform and terrain intersections, you can find a type of terrain that is received for that specific combination. So basically, this is like a formula of what we do with certain types of terrain and how we can terraform it into other types of terrain. So for example, if we have fertile soil and we burn it, well, then it becomes sand, not fertile anymore, right? Likewise, if we have ice and we burn it, it becomes water, right? Other things like elevation, explosions, right? Maybe explosions, if we do that on fertile soil, it becomes a canyon. Well, what happens when it's a canyon? Well, if we have a canyon, we can simply create water as a create water function might appear, right? Terraforming. Then that canyon now has water in it, right? So there's different formulas you can do, and you can plan ahead. So if you have something that's really big as a mountain, maybe you want to turn it into wasteland. So there you go. But now from wasteland, you can probably get it into being a canyon, and then from a canyon, you can make it water. But the situation that you are working with is kind of randomly generated. So let's talk about what we're going to do first. So solar panels. We need to have everything hooked up to the main base. I'm thinking this is where our housing is going to go because it's like right there on the base. It's already kind of primed to be built there. We can put our power right up here, I think. I don't plan to really change all this too much, but we also have some ice right here that we might want to use for water eventually too. So for now, I'm going to put solar panels here, here, and here, and then we're going to connect them with a power line down to the base. So we're going to go from here, here, and I think that's all I'm going to need because I'm also going to build housing, which I need power to do. It won't let me build this until I have the power. Gotcha. Okay. Power line to there then. Now I can build the houses. Now the house has to be built on this. It can't be built here. Interesting. So you can't build a house on sand, but you can build it on rough soil. Hard ground. I got it. Suitable for every building. So I need to use the hard ground for that. Okay, no problem. We'll build one here, and here, and here. And since they're next to each other, they're automatically connected. But if we wanted to build it a little further away, we can use the tunnels to connect them. Oops, I almost forgot to tell you that most structures, including solar panels and residential buildings, will work better if you put them close together. I already know that. So the overall objective to pass and get victory in this stage is to build 5 greenhouses, okay? So that's our product. Now greenhouses, they require water and they require power. They also require 5 people to work them. So, and it's gonna produce 7 food per turn. So it produces more food than the colonists that use it, right? But without having the proper resources, we can't really build them. And it takes 15 minerals, and I don't have any, well, I do have minerals. I don't have the people, so I can't build that yet. We're gonna need water too. And right now we're not using any, but we're about to once we get population in. This is water, it's very nice. But if I put this water pump on here to get water for the colony, look what happens to the fertile soil around it. It disappears. Because we no longer have the water source feeding into the soil, but rather it's all the water is going to our base, the soil around it can no longer be very fertile. So we lose all the fertile soil by doing that. It's not ideal. So I'm gonna go ahead and not have water right now because we have some in the tank already. We have some time. So I'm gonna let that run. But I think I'm gonna need more energy. So I'm gonna spend the extra that I have to put in another solar panel for now. And I think I'll let that be for the time being. So this could be our first turn. Is there anything else I want to do? I could hook up one more house. I think I'll hook up one more house. So we're ready to go for a lot of people. We can currently house 28 people in living spaces, plus 8 people per house. And next turn, we're going to get 10. So let's go ahead and hit the next turn button. We get some minerals generated, and new colonists are going to arrive. Now it says today, 10 new colonists will arrive. It's great that we have free houses prepared for them. We can take all 10. Okay, by taking the 10... Oh, hang on. He says, now that we've got residents, you need to oversee mining and mineral processing. Unfortunately, there aren't any minerals in this little patch of land, but I've already taken care of it and sent you terraforming sets, including a mineral source. Select the set that fits best into the current landscape and use it. Then put minerals in the area that I designated. So every turn that there's a terraforming effort happening, you get one of 3 options, and this is sort of the layout of those options. If I choose this one, we can see what it's going to do. It's going to add a mineral source to this area, and then it's also going to adjust the landscape in the corners. I'm not entirely sure what it's doing, but if I put it here, that would work, except for I can't do this action in the top left corner on that tile. And I also can't do anything here. So this doesn't work, and it won't let me do it. But I can also rotate the design. So if I wanted to go here, for example, I could totally do that too. And I think I will do this for now. The other thing we could do in this effort is we also have the burn symbol there. So I could also cause a fire if I wanted to. That might be good on sources of water and stuff, but it's not going to work here, I don't think. And then there's finally this one, which is going to create ice, I think. I think that's what that does. I wish I could see what this symbol meant on mouse over, but I think as you play longer, it becomes clear. There's also this. So has canyon as a question. Has mountain. It's not fire. This is fire. This is has mountain. It has flat. Got it. Okay, so these are like conditions. So has canyon. I suppose if I wanted to, then I could rotate it to like here. And since there's a canyon there, that would work. But I don't know. I think I want to try this one because it's going to do something to the land around me. So let's try this one instead. All right. It just is flat, I think is what it was. No big deal. All right. Wow. My desk just shook a little. Now build a factory and connect it to the colony. So the colony needs a factory. So let's put this in here. And the factory is going to produce 24 minerals per turn, but it dries up any fertile soil near it. So you got to be careful where you put it. But this is going to generate a lot. We spend 52, and then we're going to go ahead and get it hooked up with a tunnel. And it looks like it's going to have to be right there, I guess. And then it also needs a power source, which I thought being connected to the base, it would have the power source already, but perhaps not. It looks like the power doesn't travel through this unless I have the... Okay, I have to connect it manually because it's a tunnel. Got it. Nice work. New terraforming sets with various functions will arrive from time to time. For example, you can use explosives to melt ice or level out a mountainous area. And you can use so-called soil cleaners or shovels for short to prepare the soil for construction or growing crops. If you get confused about the terminology, just look at the documentation we prepared. And that's what this over here is. Now you need to see the water supply. Use the existing water sources to create a new one by using water terraforming or melting ice. Okay, so it's telling me that we're at a deficit of water. Because I have people that are here now, they're sucking down water. I only have 50 in storage, and we're gonna lose 10 every turn. That also means I have 5 turns. I don't want to lose this water source. I really do like this. But eventually I have to build 5 greenhouses, and I'm not sure how I'm going to do that here, to be honest, because there's only 4 patches of fertile soil here. But if I wanted to use the greenhouse, I could usually build it here if I had, I think if I had 5 people to spare, which I currently don't because they're working in the factory. Yeah. I only have 2 free workers, so I won't be able to build the greenhouse anyway. So for that reason, let's try... Ooh, I don't have the resources for the water pump anyway. So never mind. But eventually I think I'm going to put a water pump here. So I can use some steps of this turn to just put that water in there and then get it ready for the pump next turn. Okay, let's see what the terraforming efforts are in the next turn. Factory gives us a bunch of minerals, and we're left with this. So we have TNT, TNT, and then 3 of these elevation. So we basically can raise the elevation some places if we want to. We're probably going to use the TNT. What happens if I use TNT on the wasteland? It forms a canyon. Okay. If I do this, I get the extra fertile soil. And you can see how it changes in real time, too. I get the extra fertile soil, but I also turn this ice into water. Right? And I kind of want to do that and get this canyon out of the way. So why don't we try that? So now we've extended this canyon, and we've also added a nice water source here. And I can use that water source instead of this one. I think I will. Yeah, I think I will. So we're going to take and demolish. I don't want... Well, the water pipe is running underneath it already, and it's kind of a waste. I was hoping to demolish the water pipe that I already built, but I guess I can't do that. But we're going to use this source for water now. So we'll pop that in, and then we'll take the water pipe. Yeah, I wanna get rid of that. Let's bring this down and this down. And now we have water to the base. It needs to be hooked up to power. And I don't have enough resources to make the power cable. All right, one more turn down on water. But the good thing about this and having that second water source is that now we can use this for our greenhouses. And I just need to get this mountain out of the way. So in 2 turns, we get another terraforming prompt. And we still have room for more housing already as is. So let's go next turn. And we just need to connect that water pump with the minerals we have now. So let's go ahead and get the power line and connect. There we go. I imagine you've already noticed that fertile soil appears around open water sources. That's where you'll be able to grow crops. A water pump will block off a water source, so the fertile soil around it will disappear. But I'll give you a tip. You can always turn the water pump off. And that's true. Now I'll build 5 greenhouses for crops, and my team and I will grow exotic plants for our future parks. This will complete your mission. All right, so that's the only victory goal we have left. We're on our own now to try to make the 5 greenhouses happen. Of course, we're going to need more people for that to happen. Next turn, we get more terraforming, which is going to be awesome, but we also now have an electricity deficit. So let's focus our efforts on making sure that we don't run out of electricity. And I'm going to put, I think, another electrical... Probably down here should be all right. You can also do it over here, but I don't want the power cable to go across the water. I don't think you can do that. So why don't I do here, actually? We'll do it there. That gets us 0. And then there, we'll expand it. Now we're at +3. Very cool. Okay, so terraforming happens next turn. With only 10 minerals, there's not really much I can do. But look at, we're very positive on water now, so we're set. When new people show up, though, we're going to get low on food. And that's when we that's when we become on the clock with getting those greenhouses set up. So let's go next turn. All right, new colonists arrive. We're going to take all 10. And that gives us spare workers for our greenhouses. And now we have 3 new terraforming efforts. And these are just shovels. So what do shovels do to various different types of soil? We have hard ground, and shovels will just make it stay hard ground. It's not going to change it. Where we differ, though, is that we can turn sand into hard ground with a shovel. I guess that's a thing. It's called the smooth out tool. Also, wasteland can become sand as well. That's pretty much all we can do with shovels, though. So this is wasteland. We could do this. This turns this into sand, and then it gives us... Ooh, look at this. We get 2 sources of fertile soil by doing this. Oh, I like that. That's where our greenhouse has got to go, guys. Right there. All right, we're set up. We have all the location that we need for greenhouses. So now let's see if we can get them in. We have a 10 deficit with food. Let's go ahead and produce 7 food per turn by adding a greenhouse. It's connected to our base already because it's right next to it. I'm going to do another one. And now we're positive on food, but we're also negative on power. So next turn, we're going to have to watch that and maybe add another solar panel somewhere. Be nice to have a way to get across this canyon, but I might have to just start using this land over here for that. I also don't have enough housing for 10 more people. You might notice when we take people and the housing prompts, we can also choose to take half. So we can also take 5 at some point too. But I would like to take the full 10 because we need them to staff our greenhouses. So let's go next turn. All right, so turn 6. Terraforming happens next turn, so we'll be able to see what we can do on that. In the meantime, though, I think we should solve our power issues. And I think I will put it over here, just for the time being. And we're going to stretch it to there. So that takes care of all of our deficits, right? We have 41 minerals, but we only have 2 spare workers. So no greenhouse for us this turn. But we're also pretty good on water right now, too. We need to look at opportunities to get access to more water, because having enough people to staff that many greenhouses, as well as the greenhouses themselves using water, it's we're not going to have enough, right? So we need to create water at some point, somewhere. Let's go next turn. We'll bank up our minerals here. All right, look, we're going to generate a water source. Fantastic. So this is a Has Canyon source. And that means I can generate it as long as there's a canyon nearby, which I would very much like to create. Has flat, Has canyon. I think I'm going to use the Has canyon. But I'm not sure how water's going to help me over here, though. I don't think so. It's going to help me more over here. So if I flip this around, whoops, don't do that. If I flip you around, I can put another water source here. Keep in mind, though, that water source... Oh, never mind. Yeah, we can create it right here. Yeah. Oh, we can't create it there. That would have been great. But we can totally create it here. It gives me an extra source of fertile land, but this is the water I need for my next system. Or I can do it over here, even. I wonder if this would work. Let's go and flip this around. Yeah, we can create it here. The wasteland, though. Can we do... I think so. Yeah, we did it through here, so we can totally do that. This is going to solve my problem. It's just a shame I can't do that. I can do it here. No, I can't. No. It'll allow me to create ice. No, I think we're going to do it like this. Instead, we're gonna have to use that environment right here. So many options. I don't know what to choose. I think we'll go with... I was hoping to get rid of that wasteland, but it doesn't look like I can. Let's go here. So it's like a little bridge, right? And we can expand water with a new pump here, and then have that pump connect to the base this way. So we created another water source, which we're going to need as we expand. 77 minerals left. Let's get another house. We can satisfy that requirement later for housing. And do I have enough for a greenhouse? I do not. Right, no people. That's next turn. Let's do next turn, actually. New colonists arrive. We'll take all 10. But now our requirements for food as well as water have just gone up. We can use the shovel tool. Wow, they're making this easy on me, aren't they? So I can make this buildable land, or I can do this. Not really a whole lot we can do with these shovels. Let's just get rid of that wasteland, I guess, for now. I can get rid of this wasteland, I suppose. And maybe make water here. Yeah, I think I'm just going to get rid of this one. Okay, so we're deficit on water. I don't need to do it right away, so I think I'm going to invest this turn into food. We'll build a couple of greenhouses here. And we're almost to the goal, 4 out of 5. And we're a little bit low on electricity, though. So let's take another solar panel. Right there is good. And we're now neutral on power. And so now it's just a matter of water. I can build the pump this turn. can. I can build the pump this turn. But not, with only 6 minerals left, oh, I can hook it up like this. Oh, that's genius. I can't hook it up to power yet, though, so I need more stuff for the power. Next turn. So you can see how, like, the conditions that they give you kind of dictate how you build a little bit, and it's organized, but there's certainly room for replayability on it, especially if you want to like crank up difficulties and stuff. So let's take power line and we'll run the power like this, connect it to there, and there we go. So we have everything except power. Electricity, we're gonna run out soon. I have more. Yes, there we go. Okay, so with 20 minerals left, terraforming next turn, and room for 8 more adults. I think we're super set to succeed in our mission. TNT is possible now, or we can simply raise elevation, which might be good in this canyon area. Just to create more buildable space over here, I could take out this canyon. Or I can use TNT to destroy certain things, like make me more buildable area over here, possibly. I like the idea of just removing this canyon, though, to be honest, because it gives me more room to potentially, if I want to, flatten this out later and add more solar panels or something, if I can. Or I can always use the add water thing and add water source here, and then I can connect it right away. That's kind of nice. All right. So we're ready to go for more people. I'm just going to connect one more house here because I can. And we're going to be good to go next turn for their arrival, and then we can build our greenhouse and be done. New colonists have arrived. We'll take 10. And we're positive on food. Awesome. Let's drop in the final greenhouse and complete our mission. Victory! Well done! You built it and sustained it as a self-sufficient colony. Very nice. And then we could do Chapter 2 if you'd like to. But I'm going to leave that up to you guys. Do you like Farlanders? If you want to learn more information about it, check the link down in the description. Special thanks to the devs for sending me out a copy to show with all of you guys. I do appreciate that when people reach out to me. Some of these games, they're like these hidden gems. And maybe for you, this one is. I don't know. What do you think about it? Let me know in the comments down below. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.